We got more clips from mini camps and OTAs, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and getting another look at Russell Wilson. We got a few clips from last week, plus some others from OTAs. We're going to dig into those. But before we do, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're going hard in the paint, looking at these rookies every single day, looking at rookie camp, OTAs, mini camp, training camp, everything behind the scenes, everything in between, your favorite veterans. Those storylines that keep coming up, we're covering them right here. Click that button. Stop missing out on your veterans behind the scenes. We're looking at Russ again here. Some older clips mixed in, but we're going to start off with a few newer clips and then keep talking ball on him, the Steelers, Justin Fields, and everything else. Quick flip to Najee Harris there. They do that drill a lot, working on his footwork. Going over some of the newer clips first. Then we'll dig into some of the other ones. If you missed them, I have them on the channel as well. But as you know, I'll just keep the clips, and as I get new, I just keep going. And the reason why is because maybe you haven't seen him before, maybe you have. But also, we're going to talk ball and look at him and see how he's progressing. And one thing I can definitely say from looking at him from these last few weeks, very composed. He looks like a veteran. He looks like he belongs. He looks like he's ready to go. I don't see any balls that are not accurate. I'm not hearing many bad accounts from his play and practice. His feet's looking good. And next to Justin Fields, he's looking thick. He's looking thick. That doesn't matter, but it gives you a proponent on what he looks like. It gives you an idea of what he looks like next to a different player. And Justin Fields isn't a small player. You got a quarterback battle here. And the battle is between two guys with a lot of upside. One guy's a veteran who did very well at Seattle. We went to Denver. Things were not happening one way or another. I'll let you debate on that. And then we got another guy, a younger quarterback. Had a lot of promise and upside coming out of the draft. It wasn't happening one way or another at the Bears. Whether it was the Bears or him or both, it wasn't happening. Now, the Steelers got both these players at a good discount, a very good price tag to experiment with, see what's under the hood, see which one will fire. Whether one hits, they're in the money. If one hits, they're in the money. They're working with house money if one hits. Whether it's Fields, whether it's Wilson. If none of them hit, they're not out much. But it's an experiment where they're probably got more upside compared to recent years. They're probably looking a lot better with either quarterback. And that being said, Russell Wilson versus Justin Fields, who do you got in this matchup? I have the strong belief right now, Justin Fields is competing very hard, but Russell Wilson is probably going to start off as the starter unless he falls on his face during training camp. Things looking like right now, Russ is probably going to start things off as the starter, and things have to happen for Justin Fields to emerge, which could happen. If things switch over, what week into the season do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that's going to be like early, like week 3-ish, 4, somewhere around there? Or will it be in double digits? When do you think that will happen? Do you think Russ will fall on his face? Or do you think he's good enough to hold down the job for the whole season? Because I want to hear your opinion on that. I know that going into training camp, Russ is probably going to be looked at as the guy still. Fields might be hotter on his trails than what you think. Fields has a very live arm, very mobile, better at pre-snap than what you believe. Think about what we saw at Ohio State. Think about what we saw in Chicago, too. You can't take that out. It wasn't great. There's also a chance he could be damaged goods by now. Chicago could have ruined him. He could have all this promise, but now we're rattled. Same thing with Russ, though, with Denver. He's more of a vet, though. He's been around a little bit more, so the odds are he can get back on that horse. He's got a live arm, too. Another thing about Russ, he loves to push it downfield. Think about Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton had a ton of air yards last year. Now think about George Pickens. Where does George Pickens play well at? Getting downfield, playing bully ball against that DB. That's going to excel well with Russell Wilson. Those two are going to link up very good. Roman Wilson right here being pictured. If this passing offense takes a step forward, one, the quarterback play has to get better, which it probably will because you got better quarterbacks here competing for the starting job. And if you can get Roman Wilson to exceed expectations, which could possibly happen. Nasty route runner, very aggressive in the breaks and catching the ball. Complements George Pickens very well. You have some good tight ends on this roster with Freiermuth, and you got big old Washington, who we're trying to figure out what's happening with him because he's got size, adjust, athleticism for days. If some of these pieces start to click, these running backs stay healthy, they show a little bit more pop in their step because we're seeing that from Najee. Najee's moving good in training camp. He's moving very well. I mean, OTAs and mini camp and whatnot. But you know what I'm saying. Najee has been moving pretty good on the bags. We covered that about a week or so ago, going over his highlights, and we all know Jalen Warren's got that dog in him. These two complement each other very well. And if we can get more command under center, we can get another player to step up, this could be a team that could exceed expectations, be hot on everybody's trails in the NFL. And this is a team that was not far off last year. It wasn't that far off last year. Steelers fans will say that. And if you look back, they're in a lot of fights. And they're in a division here where it'll be a game where a team is expected to have a high-scoring affair. It's nasty due to weather. It's slow. It's ugly. And then it's a matchup where it's supposed to be slow. And then it's an ugly matchup where it's high-scoring. That's the AFC North. And they're built to hang in those matchups. They're built for that. Offensively, defensively. They're built to play in those nasty matchups where the game's ugly. Turnovers on both ends. The weather's not great. They're built for that now. They're more equipped to handle those matchups that are very rugged this year. The Steelers are going to be very interesting here in 2024. You got the quarterbacks here in training camp. We're going to look at these every day in training camp. We're going to look at Russell Wilson. We're going to look at Justin Fields. We're already looking at them a lot. Training camp, it's going to fire even more. If I'm a Steelers fan, you better be clicking that subscribe button right now, because we're talking a lot about Roman Wilson. We've always talked about George Pickens. We were hot on Jalen Warren pretty early. We're hot on this quarterback battle. We're looking at them. We're at least talking about them at least once or twice a week. Each quarterback looking at their highlights. Training camp's going to be hot here for the Steelers. It's going to be very pivotal. It's going to be very interesting, especially preseason. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.